What's up, guys? Sven's the Spook, back with another entry to the catalog. This time I thought, scratch that itch. We'll do a little bit of a key video. I try not to do these too often because it's not really what my collection's about. I mean, I don't think I know some of y'all got collections of keys that just make my stuff look silly. I'm looking at you after. But anyway, we all like to look at this stuff, and I just don't want it to be the emphasis of the channel, but it is fun to look at this. In the last year, I have put more into comics than I've probably ever done in my whole life, and you're going to see the fruits of that, other than just, the big stacks of Silver Age and stuff. You're going to see kind of the fruits of what I've been doing in the last year. But it has set me back a little bit, and I'm probably going to have to pump the brakes, so this is probably going to be it for a while in terms of big books, but what I've got here are a couple, what you see in front of you, these aren't the keys. These are just some, they're keys, but they're not the big things I picked up. Those will be at the end of the video, so be patient. I'll try to move fast. This doesn't take forever. And here we go. So this is Amazing Spider-Man 239. Second Hobgoblin, I think. I'm not up on the Spider-Man numbers. I think I've got a cool way to film here that gets a lot of light, not a ton of glare. Although this isn't an older bag and board. I haven't switched this over into Mylar yet. Pretty nice, man. I like the goblins. I like the Hobgoblin and the Green Goblin. I've got first appearance of both. So I try to collect the covers of these guys. And I actually, just while I was filming this, realized there's a big Hobgoblin face, here in the background. Let me bring it up again. In the background there, in that blue, it's just a big Hobgoblin head. That's rad, man. Great book. I don't know. Near mint? Looks near mint. I haven't really put it under the microscope. I mean, you know how that goes. As soon as you start examining your book, all the millions of tiny things that, an OCD person like me finds, So sometimes we avoid doing that, but I'm pretty happy with it. Good price. Good book. Here's one. Let me turn these just a little bit there. There we go. This is Brave and the Bold, 57. First Metamorpho. I don't think I put this in another video. If I did, apologies. My memory's not the best. This was in a little stack of some other stuff. It's a VG Plus. Presents real nice. Looks real good. I like Metamorpho. He's real goofy. You can kind of see along the top. Let me see if I can get it in there. Up in that upper right corner. That's actually, when you see something like that, you're like, oh, is this book, is there a page loose inside? Like, what is that paper sticking out of the top? And in this case, actually, it's just, what do you want to call it, a miscut? Like, the paper actually just extends beyond the book. It just didn't get cut with the rest of them. So that kind of thing, I actually don't want to say I like it, but, I can deal with that. It's not like there's a loose page or something. So I was happy. And again, kind of on the cheap, man, because there's no movies coming out. So, it's still affordable. Don't get me started on the movies. I mean, I know they're cool. I know everyone loves them, but like, God, man, they really make buying comics difficult sometimes, especially for those of us like me that aren't really that crazy about them. This is not a key. I just slipped this in here because I'm real stoked about this book. This is Amazing Spider-Man 66. I like Mysterio a lot. I missed out on a first Mysterio just by just a little bit. It was actually miscommunication, but whatever. I don't want to get into it because it kind of, to be honest, it left me a little sour, but this was kind of my way of making it up to myself. It's just a Mysterio cover, pretty nice condition. The guy had this one. So let me bring that in so you can check that out. And then he had one that he was saying was near mint for $200. Okay, this wasn't anywhere near $200. And I was like, dude, like, if I can get one looking this good for, I'm talking like, just, nowhere near $200. I'm not talking about like $150, $120. I'm not even talking about close to that. This book was just, normally priced. I don't know what this guy was doing, man. So I took this one. He did warn me that the top, let me bring it in one more time, might be trimmed, kind of hard to tell. It's a wonky trim if it's a trim, and it's done real well. So it leads me to believe it actually might be a factory trim. It would be unlikely that someone would have equipment good enough to trim that so nicely and then do it so poorly. So I don't know. But a great cover. Love Mysterio, one of my favorite villains in the Spider-Man series. And then we got this little gem here, the Fantastic Four number 35. This might have some glare problems. I always have trouble with these cases, so we'll see. It is a CGC 5.5. You guys know where I'm at with CGC. So why would I buy something like this? Well, you know what that means. We're going to have to crack this bad boy out of its slab. Freedom, Braveheart style. Although I'll tell you, this is just between you, me, and the lamppost, right? Mum's the word. I really like these new CGC cases. They are beautiful. The plastic is like museum quality, and they are tight, man. The old ones, I could rip them apart. I mean, that's not even an exaggeration. If you gave me an old CGC case, I could rip it apart and get into it in about like 30 seconds, maybe. You know what I mean? They were easy to split. This is going to take some doing here. I busted into these a couple times, and they will take me probably 10 to 15 minutes to get inside of this thing without just, smashing it apart. So we'll be filming that when I break that Teen Titans that I had, Teen Titans #1 I had in the slab as well. Those will both get broken at the same time, and I will be sure to video that for you, my friends. But in the meantime, I present you with the first Dragon Man. Kind of an obscure character. I always liked him. I kind of didn't like the fact that he was a robot. I actually feel like that may have been retconned. I feel like Dragon Man now is not a robot. Maybe, but anyway. He was then. You can kind of see the bolts and stuff on his head there. And yeah, so just a cool book. Price was right. Pretty low price. That looks pretty good for a 5.5 to me. And again, I can't wait to get this thing out of the slab and actually like open it up and take a look at it, right? So there we go. There's some minor stuff I picked up. Not minor in terms of like value or quantity, or quality, but just minor in respects to what's coming. So here comes the big stuff, all right? Now, the reason I don't show this stuff off a lot is twofold. One, again, like I said, I don't want this to be the focus of my channel. And two, I don't keep these around. These are, this stuff is kept somewhere else. Let me put that down there. And I think you'll understand why. But while I've got them out, I'm going to show them to you. So these are my newest pickups. Yeah. Yeah, man. I mean, again, look, if this doesn't get your blood pumping, then I don't know what will, man. It's Strange Tales 110, House of Secrets 92. And if you've been, we'll do the House of Secrets first. If you've been with me from the very beginning, you'll know that the very first video I ever did, I showed this, not this book, but my other House of Secrets 92, which at the time was an 8.0 CGC slab, and it was signed by Bernie Wrightson. Okay, I upgraded to this copy, which is possibly a 9. This book is beautiful. I'm gonna bring it in close so you can check it out. It's debatable. It's on the edge of an 8.5 or a 9. It's got a few spine ticks, but it's just one of those things. I mean, you guys know how it is. Everybody's grading is a little bit different. You can kind of hear the way I'm breathing a little bit. I don't even really want to handle this too much. This is my crown jewel right here. This is my crown jewel. This is the nicest comic I have, both in sentiment and in value and in just. This is it, man. This is the crown jewel of my collection. You are seeing it right now. I've been told by a million people, probably like 3 people, that I need to get this graded, blah, bro, you're crazy. If this is a 9.0, it could be worth crazy amounts of money. Now Bernie Wrightson's dead. And it's just, all that is true. I will never sell this book, man. Unless I become like so destitute that I can't even feed myself or my family. Then we'll talk, but this is not a book for sale. This is a treasure. And I got this from the guy, single owner, a friend of mine. He sold it to me at an amazing deal. And, it's just one of those things, man. You do people right, and they will do you right. And he sold it to me basically because he knew I wasn't going to sell it. I mean, that's really what it comes down to here. I'll bring this in a little bit closer so you can check it out one more time. That was not the whole deal. I mean, he was trying to come up with... I don't want to tell his business, but he was trying to come up with cash for medical stuff. But he wanted to sell it, and it was me, or it was eventually probably going to go to a show or a dealer or something like that. And I just said, look, man, I'd really like to have that. And he said, well, look, I'll sell it to you for blank if you promise, not to flip it on me. I don't want to see this thing on eBay in a month going for whatever. He's like, and I was like, dude, you have my word. This book will be with me till death or until extreme hardship. So what happened to my 8.0 signed by Bernie Wrightson? Well, that actually went to one of my best friends. And it's always a wonderful thing when you can keep the books in the family, so to speak. So that made it a lot less painful. I sold it to a friend. We did a deal for some cash and some other things. And but the cash went back into comics. I mean, all this is it's all circular, man. And anyway, so one of my best friends has my original House of Secrets. I've got the upgraded copy. It's just win, win, win. I hope you guys really enjoyed this as much as I did because, whoo, man, this book. And now, Strange Tales 110. So this is the newest acquisition. I just picked this up a day or two ago. Let me tap that down just a little bit. I don't like them being right at the top just in case you drop them or something happens there. It's certainly not a high-grade copy. It's certainly not a high-grade copy. But I kind of, I'm going to say I never thought I'd own this book. I mean, that's a bit of a stretch, but I didn't think I'd own one anytime soon. This is going to sound ridiculous and over the top, but I actually woke up the other day kind of just being like, dude, I own Strange Tales 110. First Doctor Strange, it's like the last 6 or 8 pages in the book. Whoo, I can't believe I own this book, man. I can't believe I got this book. I got to wrap this up because the video is getting a little long. Without making this a long story, this one was a hard one to pull the trigger on. One more time coming in on it, you'll see the main issue with it. It's right in the middle. I mean, other than it's just worn, but that's okay. There's that big blue 7, and it's got that little black mark down to the right of it. It's usually a big deal breaker for me. I don't like that kind of stuff. I just don't like writing on covers unless it's like a newsstand mark, and I don't think that's what that is. But, and the price was just about $100 off where I wanted to be, and it just, when a book you're kind of trying to talk yourself into, and then they're already a little higher than I don't know, man. This one didn't look like it was going to happen. And then I was able to just, kind of similar to the Swamp Thing, I guess, I was able to contact a couple friends of mine, close friends of mine, say, hey, look, I know you guys got an eye on a couple books I have. I sold, among a couple other things, Black Panther and Showcase 34, the first Atom, to some friends of mine. So again, they're in the family still. I can go see them whenever I want. I might be able to trade back for them or buy them back or whatever. I was able to get this book for putting out almost no cash. And that, I mean, yes, I had to trade off other books, but only one of them was a book I didn't have. Only that Fantastic 452, the Black Panther that I traded off, was the only book that I traded that wasn't a duplicate. So circumstances fell in my favor. I was able to move some books around to some friends, and I was able to get this book for almost no cash. So it makes it that much sweeter. Yeah, man. So 2 crown jewels, that along with my Punisher and my Green Goblin are my 4 big crown jewel books. What do you guys think? Which do you like better? Which one was a better book to you? Do you like the Swamp Thing because it's more, nicer, higher quality? Or just because it's Swamp Thing? Or the Strange Tales because it's Doctor Strange and it's like a Marvel mega key? I don't know about mega key, but it's a big key. Or is that, what do you think? Was I stupid to buy this? Is that 7 on the front of that Strange Tales just a deal breaker to you guys? I totally understand. I totally would get it. It's just one of those things. It actually doesn't bother me as much as it probably should. Anyway, that's it, man. It was a good time rapping with you guys. Thanks for hanging. Next time, I just picked up another fat stack of Silver Age. Somebody better stop me, or my wife is going to see the credit card bill, and we're going to have a problem. If I go missing for 6 months, you'll know what happened, all right? It means I got locked in the dungeon and got my privileges taken away. But anyway, that's enough of that. We'll see you guys next time. Thanks for checking it out. See ya.